tonight, unfortunately. They have, yeah.
So how are the 3 to 5 determined? I mean, is there a situation where more people would want to be part of it, but you just limit it, or how does that shake out?
So basically what we do at the end of the weekend, after we pitch that panel, all the people who have shares, the 40 people there, elect the board of managers. Or board of directors, depending which, C Corp, S Corp, Texas LLC, whatever you do. But you elect the board of managers who manage the umbrella company. And the umbrella company is then responsible for spawning the subsidiaries, doing IP transfer, setting up all the contracts. And for that, so then you have managers for each of the subsidiaries, and then they make hiring decisions based on that, right? And what's great is they immediately have a talent pool where they can hire from. Doesn't mean, right, they have 40 people and they need maybe they need a graphic designer, they need a PR person, they need a couple of MBAs. So they have this hiring pool right off, out of the gate. But that doesn't mean they're just limited to those people. They can still go out and recruit other talent. So it's very fluid. But Sunday night you elect this board of managers and you trust them to properly steer the company forward. So.
And what's the commitment on that board of managers?
It's huge. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. Joel and I were on the board of directors from the company in 2008, and it's a huge time investment. So it's a real commitment, and that's what we ask for. Actually, like at the end of the weekend, we ask them, hey, can you give up and give your pitch for why you're a good manager? What's your time commitment? Yada yada.
Okay, and let me add to that, the leadership for the company that emerges comes from you guys. And it's self-selected. It's, who puts up, who works hard, who really executes during the weekend.
Yeah. We don't appoint the CEO. That's you guys. Cool.
Yes. I was wondering if you guys could talk a little bit about the actual 3 days and how the groupings, I guess, work out, and then with the Sunday, when is the pitch happening? I saw midnight was the very end. Is that when the pitch finishes, or
No,
starts?
so let me quickly go I'll tell you what happened last year when I participated. We got there, Friday at about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then these guys had arranged for delicious pizza, so I was eating, started speaking to people, made some nice friends, and then, when you start speaking with 30, 40 people during dinner, you kind of know whom you want to work with, whom you don't want to work with. So there, by itself, you have little groups created. And then you speak to them, tell you, hey dude, I have this idea, I have that, and then you guys go on discussing. And then after lunch, dinner, evening, whatever food, it just goes ahead, and then you start brainstorming. And we'll kind of force it in a particular direction, telling, we are going to have the pitch at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And then last year there were so many ideas that we took a long time to decide on which one to go forward with. We selected a few and then they got changed later. And then, so basically when a group of 5 or 6 people come up with 2 ideas to pitch to the rest of the participants, some will like it, some will not like it, so there'll be a voting there. And based on that, we pick the top 2 or 3 and we start working for it. And then you find out what, so you have the whole of Saturday, some people sleep there, most of them sleep there. The organizers definitely sleep there. Some go, some come back, and then the next morning when they come back, they by then, the computer coders have a prototype ready or something basic ready. It's just that they like to burn through the night and finish their tasks. That's my impression of computer coders. And then the business guys come in the morning, start doing market validation. They look at the product these guys have created, see how they can sell it, see how they can monetize it. They look at a revenue stream, they look at various options, they speak to potential customers, they validate the market some more, make it foolproof. And by Saturday evening, things will look a bit chaotic because it just won't piece together. But then after discussion and the organizers pushing it to go towards one side, by Sunday afternoon you have the final business plan or the final deck ready at least. So then we have practice presentations wherein people from all the, the technical side and the business side come together. The people who are wild cards, they help on all sides trying to make it go forward, and then you have the final pitch that is to the organizers just to make sure that we don't make a fool of ourselves in front of the investors. And then the investors come in the evening, proper VCs like Adam Dell was present last time, he is a part of Austin Ventures, and then there are so many other business guys come in, entrepreneurs, professors, who have been in this field for a long time, and then we pitch to them. They tell what they find faulty with it, what they like about it, they just give you a basic critique. But keep in mind that these investors are not going to put money into the company. These guys are here to give us their mentorship and their advice. So once they give it from a third person investor point of view, we know where we stand, we know the areas where we work on, and after those guys leave, we come back, we have dinner, and then we decide on the board of directors. During the course of the 3 days, we'll know, let's say we come up with one company, the Famigo, we know the main guys in Famigo whose brainchild it was, and who are the main guys who put time and effort into coding it, who are the guys who did the validation. Of course, everybody will help. I was not involved with Famigo, but the other company, so it makes no sense for me to sit on the board of directors because I wasn't even involved with Famigo or the other company, with a complete involvement. I was doing, pieces here and pieces there. So the 40 of you decide, nominate people, you decide whom you want to be on the final committee, and then we'll also make some recommendations because it's good to have a person with a law background on the panel, it's good to have a person who has some connection with ATI on the panel, and then from there these guys take the company forward, like Thomas said, do the spin-offs, write over IP and other stuff.
But in terms of how are the, exactly. So how are the groups formed, it's self-selecting. You decide what project you want to run with. Whatever you're most passionate about, run with it. Either you bring your own idea or there's something you love. Yeah.
So exactly how much is the ownership of the first 40 people diluted to you?
It depends on future rounds of investment. Every round dilutes your shares.
Well, like initially, when you choose your management,
Yeah.
how much is it diluted?
When you first, it depends on the structure and deal. How much IP is there? How many managers of the company there are? It varies from every single one. We can tell you about the current deal for Famigo. The umbrella company owns 10% of Famigo. But
But it just seems like,
Yeah.
as you go through more rounds of financing,
Yeah.
if you don't have protection for the
Yeah.
first 40,
Uh-huh.
you would just keep diluting.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's impossible to say. The more
Yeah.
value we generate before we take on funding,
Yeah.
the stronger your shares will be.
Yeah.
If
But
there's-
yeah. That's true of any company. There's nothing special here. It's if you have shares and you're not continually involved and you don't keep adding your shares, you don't have any protection. That's
Are there options to add in shares?
Work with the company, see if you can become the CEO.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. If you are, and you don't have to be on the board of managers to get more shares, right? So maybe here's leadership for that company. Work with them, But they make the hiring decision. It's completely out of our hands. So we can't guarantee. Anything.
Yes.
Are all of the 40 students UT students?
No.
No. Some are people who have 20 years of experience. Last time we had a participant from A&M. So it's not just UT, but it's a collection of people.
We actually had an applicant from the East Coast right now. So I tell you what, in 2008, we had people flying in from California, from Madison, one guy from Germany. So people are diverse. And they're not all students. Some are non-students, yeah.
That said, we give a large preference to students. The vetting process for people outside UT is much more rigorous.
Yeah.
Because the main aim of this event is not, starting a company is one of the main goals, but it is to make you guys start the company who are students. Because we don't want this event to be yet another entrepreneurship talk, but we want you guys to go out there, get the feeling of what entrepreneurship is about, and start a company. Yes.
What's the division between you as facilitators managing this event and the group self-managing?
Would this info session have been possible had you guys, I don't know, can you go ahead, repeat your question, please?
I'm wondering throughout the 3 days how much managers are selected from the 40 people to
Oh.
manage the events and focus the groups.